All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Yogesh. My name is Yogesh Parajuli, and I am originally from Nepal. And let me just give you a little bit of my introduction. It's recording. Okay. So let me give you an introduction. My name is Yogesh. So I originally come from Nepal, and I've been in this country for about 10 years now. And the reason why I am in this business is I love helping people, right? I love helping people, and also I want to learn more about finance. I was a finance and accounting student in the school, and the things when I see this opportunity and I see the business, I see the financial literacy that this business is sharing and giving like people, it blow my mind, right? And because I didn't learn those finances when I was in school, and the things that I learned from here today or from the day I started in this business, it literally blew my mind about how money is actually circulating in the world. How rich are getting richer and richer, and how poor are staying always poor, right? So I came on board and I started learning more about this business, and I fall in love with this business. And today I'm also, it's been like a little more over 2 years now, me being in the business, and currently I am a marketing director with the business. And my goal in this business is to build more leaders in the business and also have as many people possible, and also acquire my next senior marketing director promotion by the end of this year. So without further ado, let me get started with today's presentation. So first of all, I would like to thank you, all of you guys, for attending this webinar this morning, since it's Saturday morning, early 10 o'clock. And probably a lot of people are still sleeping in the bed, but we all woke up, and get fresh, took shower, and today here in front of the computer to learn something valuable information, right? And the reason why I'm here today is to educate you, and to inform you about two important things that are really, really in need right now in the economy, right? Let me tell you what those two things are. So one is people are losing a lot of money right now and wherever they are investing, right? Either they may be investing in the 401ks or stocks, bonds, mutual funds, wherever people are putting their money, people are losing a lot of money. And as well as due to this pandemic, coronavirus going on, a lot of people are suffering a lot, even financially and emotionally as well. Like just yesterday, U.S. hit a record of 50,000 deaths due to coronavirus. And those 50,000 people, they don't expect to die, but hey, it happens, right? So life happens, and a lot of families are left behind, and they don't have a proper protection. What will happen to those families whose primary breadwinner dies without having a proper protection for the family? Right? So a lot of people are looking for the services. A lot of people are looking for protecting their family and saving their money that they have already invested. So the reason why I'm here, the first thing is to educate you or give you some form of financial literacy, right? I'm here to educate you on something called financial literacy, where you can learn about the money and teach other people to do the same thing as well. So that's number one, financial literacy. Second thing I'm here today is also regarding to some finance, but the reason why I'm here for the second reason is that I want to keep and offer a people who an excellent opportunity that is blowing right now, right? So that is going to it's skyrocketing the business opportunity, right? A lot of people are being laid off from job right now. A lot of people are looking for some opportunity to make extra money. So in this time, so we can help people to make extra money by teaching them the principle of finance, providing them the financial literacy, so they can also do the same thing to their community, to their society, to the people they know, and also help them financially to protect their family and also save their money and make extra money, right? So that's the reason. So two different reasons why I'm here today, right? So I'm going to explain to that as I go through the presentation as well. So, of course, we are in the business of helping families to build better future. A lot of families are thinking they are going to build a better future, but they don't have a plan how to exactly get there, right? Like, for example, driving a car. When we drive a car, we know where, like, for example, we have never been to New York before, and we want to go to the New York. We know our destination. We know where we wanted to be in our life, right? Where we are. I mean, I am currently in North Carolina, and my goal is to New York, and I have never been to New York, right? Think of that like in the life, where you are like maybe 30s, 40s, some of you maybe in 20s, some of you in 50s, but your retirement goal is like 60, 70, and you have never been there in your life, right? And if you are going to a place where you have never been, right, what do you need? A GPS, right? You need a roadmap how you can get there. So that's exactly what we do here in our business. Is we want to help families to build a better future by becoming that GPS for them, giving them the guidelines, giving them the plan where they can execute that plan and follow the footsteps, follow the plan, and get where they want to get. So we are in the business of helping families, and we are World Financial Group, and we are a part of Transamerica Company. Let's go over to what that is, right? So before I move forward, right, let me tell you like the mission of our company. What does our company do, right? Who we are, right? Our mission is to help families from all walks of life to build better future, right? So we don't discriminate between people. Hey, if you have a PhD degree, we can help you. If you have a high school diploma, we can help you. If English is your second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth language, then we can still help you. Right? So it doesn't matter what background you come from, what different walks of life you come in through. We want to make sure that people get that help, people get that education, people get that financial literacy that is needed, which people don't get it anywhere else. And we are here to provide them those. So our mission is very, the mission is what motivates me, what drives me to do more in this business, because I love helping people, right? So we'll go into the presentation. I would like you to consider three different questions, right? Number one, right, after you hear this message, do you know someone who could benefit from this message, right? Who do you know who should be hearing this information about the financial literacy, right? Protecting their families, preparing for the future, right? If you know anyone, you can contact me. You can refer those people to me or anyone whoever invited you in this business. Next thing is the concept and strategy that I'm going to share with you in this presentation. Is that going to be helpful for you personally, right? Even to implement in your own finances, to make sure to see if you are doing better with your own finances, right? So think about that. And the next thing is look at the business opportunity side. Remember I said there are two different things. One is the financial literacy aspect. Another one is the business opportunity aspect, right? So are you intrigued by the business? Do you think you can do what I do and make money? Let me repeat that question. Do you think you can do what I do and make money, right? So consider these three questions as I go through the presentation. So at the end, I'm going to come and ask you the same questions again. And I hope you're going to have some names and you're going to have a response about what this is. And is this going to be helpful for you personally, or do you know someone? And are you intrigued by the business, right? So let's move forward with that now. So who we are actually, right? So we are World Financial Group, like I said before, and we are a part of the Aegon Group, right? Aegon, who is Aegon now? Aegon is a leading provider of a life insurance, pension, and asset management in over 20 different countries, more than 20 different countries. I think right now they are over 28 different countries across the world, and they are based out of Netherlands in Europe, right? And as of 2016, they have a market capitalization about $14 billion. And in United States, in North America, Aegon is run under the Transamerica brand, right? They purchased Transamerica in 2001, and since then, they've been running the businesses on the Transamerica brand. And where Transamerica has already have an enormous and a rich history in helping families, right, with a lot of different financial services like annuities, individual universal life, and the term life, 401k plan, retirement planning, you name it, right? It has been helping people since many years. So we are a part of the Transamerica and Aegon conglomerate, right? We work together closely. So we are a part of a big family. But we just don't represent them, right? Of course, we are the marketing agency for Transamerica and Aegon, but what we do here is we also have more choices for people, right? We also have more choices, not just Transamerica and Aegon, but also we're affiliated. Our company is affiliated with many top companies in the country already, who has already been in the business, like Nationwide, Pacific Life, Voya, you name it, right? We work with more than 100 different companies to help families to meet their needs, right? And some of the products that we offer includes fixed annuities, right? Fixed index annuities. And the life insurance, it can be term, whole life, universal life, index universal life, right? Long-term care and 401k rollovers, IRA rollovers, and college saving plan for the kids, you name it, we got it, right? So there are a lot of different products and services that we can offer to families with the variety of selection that we have from the different companies that are already out in the business, right? So let me tell you that, right? We are not in the business to compete with Nationwide, to compete with Pacific Life, to compete with Everest, right? What we are in the business of putting all those things together and providing more for the people, right? We're not here to compete with anyone, right? We want to work together with all the companies that are already helping families, and just we are just a provider, right? We are just a provider for those people. Basically, with WFG, we are the search engine for the financial services, right? Whatever you name it, any product you need, we have it, right? So that's what we have. We have the selection. We have the strength. Think of this like this, right? You need to buy a car, and you went to a car dealership, and like a Toyota dealership, and you said, hey, I need a best car in the world. What would a Toyota dealership tell you? Of course, they're gonna tell you that Toyota is the best car, right? And if you go to the Honda, what they're gonna say? They're gonna say the same thing. They say the Honda is the best. But what if you go to a dealership that has all the different types of cars? And which car would you think they will tell you is the best? Is the one what fits your need? And what are the features do you want, right? What's your price? What's your price range, right? They're gonna ask you a lot of questions to filter out the best car for you. That's exactly what we do here as well, right? We are in the business of helping families, right? We sit down with them, we see their needs. What are they actually looking for? What exactly they were trying to go? Remember that the journey they're gonna start up to the retirement, right? The journey, to get there. What do they need, right? How much exact money they're gonna have in retirement? How much exactly protection they want to provide for the family? The kids are how long before kids go to college and they want to set aside some money for the kids, right? So we create a plan for them and we offer the best solution for them, depending upon their budget, right? How much they can afford to do that, and that's what is really helpful. That is really what drives me into this business too, like I said before, right? So now, doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter what families. Well, maybe they were extra wealthy American, right? Or maybe really in the poverty line, right? We want to make sure we help everyone in America. Right? Our philosophy is no family left behind. And we don't want everyone to live behind. No, we don't want the rich gets richer and richer due to having access to all the products and services that they can. But the people who are in the poverty, they are always staying poorer and poorer with the lack of financial literacy and lack of product and services that they can afford. And also they can't afford to sit down with the financial advisor who charge them an access fee, and people like that, they can't afford to do so, right? So let me differentiate what are the different types of families out there, family A and family B. What is family A? Many families in the middle America are typically family A, who earns less than $100,000 a year. They have a job, and they put all their money in 401k plan and not knowing how that actually works. And they own term insurance. They have a mantra, that for a lot of people, they follow Dave Ramsey saying buy term, invest the difference, and rent a house. But like when I say buy term, invest the difference, what I have found out in my career doing taxes and WFG is that a lot of people, they buy a term, but instead of investing, they spend the difference, right? Buy term, invest. Instead of invest, they spend the difference, right? And they rent a house, they put all their money in the bank, where they earn less than 1% interest rate, And the funny thing is, if you don't put your money to work for you, you're gonna have to work rest of your life for money, right? So, and they have very minimum tax advantage. They don't know how to take advantage of taxes, right? They've been paying a lot in taxes, right? And they have no financial advisor. They don't know where to get that access from. They don't know how to get that financial knowledge from, right? All they know is the surrounding, what in their environment, what people are doing around them. A lot of people are putting money in 401k. Oh, I think that's a good way to save for retirement. Let me open a 401k account through my job as well, right? A lot of people are investing in stocks. Oh wow, a lot of people are investing in stocks, making money. Let me put some money in the stocks and let me make money too, right? Hey, we're doing what people are doing in our surroundings, right? But without a lack of knowledge, without the proper information and financial education, people are doomed to pay a lot of money too. And that's including the majority of the people in our country. If you look through your surrounding, right? People you hang out with, where are they? Are they family A or family B? What is family B, right? They earn more than $250,000 a year, right? And now all are business owners. They just don't have one source of income. They have multiple sources of income coming into the house. The job is just one source of income. You only make money one way. That's a linear income, right? You do the activity going to work, and then only you're going to get paid. If you don't do the activity going to work, you're not going to get paid. Like right now, how many people are laid off? Right? Think about that. How many people are being laid off right now from job? What's the income source? The $200 stimulus check? That's gone before it even hit the bank account with the bills, right? So, and a lot of family B, they own a permanent life insurance, right? They own a house, a diversified portfolio. They just don't put all your money in one place, right? They diversify in multiple different places and are debt free. If there are some in debt, they know how to leverage debt, right? And they know how to maximize the tax advantage, right? In the US, tax is a big issue, right? It's a very big issue, even for the political region. Every time when someone runs for the president, there's a huge debate about taxes, right? And it's a huge issue. People are paying a lot of money in taxes too. And but the family B, those who are those who make a lot of money, actually they are paying less in taxes. Like in 2017 and 18, 2 years in a row, Jeff Bezos, Amazon owner, he paid $0 in taxes, and he is the wealthiest person in America, in the world actually. He's the wealthiest person in the world, and he paid $0 in taxes, guys. Think about that. How is that even possible, right? But hey, if you know how to maximize the tax strategy, you can make it happen. All you need is some financial literacy. And have some financial professionals. So they have access to financial professional. They will show you the step-by-step process how you can achieve that what you want to achieve, right? How can you invest? Where is the good place to invest, right? Where you can get a higher rate of return, higher interest rate on your money, right? They will show you everything. They will sit down with you. They will make a plan for them, and they implement that plan, follow the plan, and then that's how they become successful. That's how they become rich. But all the poor people, like all the those who are making less money, they can't afford it because financial advisors do have fees. They charge you some money just to sit down with them, right? So, and a lot of people can't afford to do that, right? And that's where we come in. We want to come in and take action, right? Provide the same services that the professional, traditional financial services provide to the family B. We want to provide the same kind of services to family A and help them become successful, right? Because what's our philosophy? No family left behind, right? We want to help every person where help is most needed, who are looking for help, right? And we're not gonna go and there's, hey, I'm here to help you. If they close the doors, they don't need help, but we are there to help people who are looking for help, right? So see, the reason why is because a lot of families in family A, they don't know how to plan. And when you don't know how to do a planning, it's always a failure, right? You're not going nowhere without a planning. So most people, they don't plan to fail. But most people, we don't plan to fail in life, right? We do planning, we make strategies, we implement the plan, we do daily activities to fulfill that plan. So none of us, I don't think any one of us, we plan to fail. But the problem here is we just fail to plan, right? We don't sit down and do planning. We just fail to do that. If you do planning, hey, we can at least get some work. But a lot of people, they don't sit down and do any planning for the future, right? For the family, for the money, for the family's future, right? So we come in and help those people to sit down with them, provide some financial literacy, financial education, and do a planning for them, where they're heading, right? Where they're heading. So, and we want to implement that, and we want to provide them the education and services that they can implement that into their finances, into their program, so they can better take care of their future, right? Remember what we are in the business of helping families to build better future, right? And you all should know that. You all should understand that too, right? Always make sure you have mission before commission, So that's where you can help as many people as possible. So when it comes to providing financial literacy, right, there are basically 4 financial cornerstones that everybody should understand, right? This should be a free education, free services, free literacy, financial literacy to everyone, and everyone should have access to this information, right? We talk about protection, how it is so important right now due to the coronavirus. So many people are dying, leaving their loved ones without any money, right? Because if you are the only primary breadwinner, then a lot of people who are suffering to coronavirus, I'm sorry for them, for the family, but hey, people are dying. People are dying. But what's going to happen to the family? And I see a lot of people go into GoFundMe and raise money in the GoFundMe. Hey, let me tell you this: GoFundMe is not a life insurance policy. It's not a life insurance policy, right? So make sure family are properly protected, because I'm going to talk about that in the next slide, why it is so important. But so that's first aspect we want to educate people on, right? Hey, this is very important. You got to make sure you have some kind of protection for your family. Next is growth, right? You want to make sure your money is working for you. Look at Warren Buffett, right? He doesn't work because he put his money to work, right? So make sure your money is working for you, earning more and more money for you, so you don't have to work, right? So, but what we do, what does the family aid do? They put their money to rest in the bank, right? They put their money to rest in the bank, and they go work for money, right? But what do the wealthy do? They rest and they put their money to work, right? So we want to make sure people do understand why growing your money, why putting your money to work is very important. And safety. Make sure when your money is growing, is working for you, make sure it's safe. It's not losing its value. Like right now, 401k, IRA, stocks, and all the things have dropped like 30, 40%. People are losing money. What if, like, for example, you are about to retire, you were about to retire in 1 or 2 years, and now, boom, coronavirus happened, and you lose 40% of your money. What if you have in your nest egg about $1 million? Boom, it dropped down to $600,000. How does that make you feel? Right? Just think about it. How many people do you know right now are in that scenario? Right? How many people you can provide that education, financial literacy to them, right? So they can better take care of their money. Right? And tax advantages. Like a lot of people, when you grow money, of course, there is always Uncle Sam looking an eye upon you, right? To ask for their fair share. But there are some ways. There are some ways and strategy where you can implement into your program and avoid paying a lot of taxes, right? So avoid paying a lot of taxes. Of course, who would want to pay extra taxes? Not me. Of course, I would not mind to pay my fair share, but I don't want to pay more than what I'm supposed to, right? But if you know if you have the financial literacy, if you understand how taxes work and what are the different types of products that have tax advantages, so you can take advantage of this, right? I'm going to go more in details about this. The first is proper protection. So what is proper protection, right? Proper protection is the foundation. Let me get that right? Proper protection is the foundation of your family's financial future. Let me repeat that one more time. Proper protection is the foundation of your family's financial future. What does that mean, right? Think of that like you're building a house, right? How would you build a house? If you find a land, if you just go there and put some coal and then you start building a house, will be a solid house? Would that be would that be a strong house? No, it won't be, right? To have a proper strong house, make sure you dig a hole deep down under the ground and and put some iron and metal in there, make it strong with the concrete and all that stuff. So your house you can build 100-story after that, right? It's going to be a solid ground. So when it comes to finance, right? When it comes to finance, what's the foundation? What you are laying your house upon, right? Proper protection is what you need to focus on, is the foundation. Because what is that? What is something that feeds everything in the house? Your bills, right? Your college planning for your kids, for your retirement planning, for your bills, pay mortgage, car payment, everything. What feeds all that, right? Your income, right? The money the way you make money from work and activities, like whatever you do, maybe have a business or a job, whatever. So the income is what that feeds everything in the house, right? What if your income stops? What if you are not able to make any more money? Who's going to be fulfilling all that thing? So for that reason, right? So there are multiple different types of protection you can lay the foundation upon, right? It can be disability. Hey, if you become disabled, or long-term care. If you cannot do 2 out of 6 activities by yourself, then you need someone to take care for you, and that costs you a lot of money. The national average for long-term care services is about $98,000. Think about that. You are in the hospital for 5 years and you're not able to do anything by yourself, and you need someone to take care for you, and you are supposed to pay $98,000 per year. Wow. From where are you going to get this money, right? A lot of people are doing that. All those people who are retiring, of course, 70% of the chance is for those people who are 60, 65, and 70 plus. but hey, still there's a 30% of chance. What if we all got in an accident and we didn't die, but we are not able to do activities by ourselves? You still need long-term care, right? What about retirement? You need to make sure your retirement is properly protected as well. A lot of people, they put their money all in the market, where it's fluctuating with the market, like stock market. But you want to make sure your retirement is properly protected, and life insurance in general, right? Because life insurance is the very misunderstood concept in people, right? A lot of people don't know what life insurance is, how that works, what are the different benefits that you can get from life insurance, right? Let me tell you, so what type of life insurance is needed, right? There are so many different types, but in broader aspect, there are basically two types of life insurance. One is term and one is permanent, right? So what is term? Term is for a certain period of time. If your income is really low and your gross income, for example, like if your discretionary income, right, your income minus expenses is maybe very less, then maybe term insurance is good for you for now, right? Because it's cheaper, but it's just for a certain period of time. But whereas a lot of people who have more money to put away, maybe for the future, for the next generation, the permanent insurance is better, right? So what can life insurance do for you? It's not the grandfather taps a mountain, right? Insurance. Look at this. This is a smartphone that I have in my hand, right? So what does the smartphone help you do? Right? It helps you make a phone calls, text message someone, and take photos, take videos, go onto the internet, record everything, right? It's like a smartphone, right? It's a Swiss Army knife. And life insurance can help you do that too, right? It's not the traditional types of phone where you just use it for one thing, right? It's in the modern days, in the modern type of life insurance, it can be used for so many different reasons, right? So what can life insurance be used for? It can create a living benefit for you. So you don't have to die to get money. For your family to get money, right? If you have a life insurance now, that you can use that insurance while you are living. Think about that in just a minute, right? It's just leveraging the insurance company to fulfill your things that you would need. For example, like long-term care, right? Hey, add a rider in your insurance, so that can help you if you become sick. You can use that money. You are leveraging your insurance. That also helps you supplement your retirement income. If you need money during retirement, hey, if you have a permanent, you can withdraw cash from your money, from your policy, and you can supplement your retirement income. And it can also cover education expenses for your children. How many of you have children and they're about to go to college? Think of that. Did you do anything? Did you put money aside for them to go to college? Right? Isn't it your priority for them to go get a better education? Or you want them to take out loan again, right? Debt is not good. And replace income for your dependent, right? It can help you replace income for your dependent, pay final expenses, create an inheritance for your heirs, right? Pay federal and state taxes, and create a source of saving for you, right? It's your money, it's your savings. It's not an expense. A lot of people think life insurance is an expense. No, that's a very misconception, right? It can become a source of saving for you and provide funds for charitable contribution. A lot of people, they want to donate, right? And life insurance, after you pass away, life insurance can be a huge source for your charitable contributions. So there are so many different advantages of having your family properly protected and buying types of insurance that you need, because we already have insurance in all those things, right? We have insurance on our car, we have insurance in our house, you have insurance in your apartment, rental insurance, right? You have insurance even in a smartphone, but what about your life? Your life is not worth even a price of a phone. Think about that, guys. Right, so that's why you make sure everyone is properly educated about life insurance, and it's the foundation. So make sure before you invest anything, make sure you are properly protected first. So next thing I'm going to talk about is the compound interest, about the growth portion, right? So compound interest. So what is a compound interest? We all know how to calculate simple interest, right? But what is a compound interest? Compound interest, right? If you don't know what a compound interest is, and you don't know how to use compound interest, you are paying a lot of money. And I'm going to prove that in just a minute, right? So, a scientist, Albert Einstein, derived a formula called rule of 72. And what it simply states is that if you divide the number 72 by the interest rate that you are earning with the different accounts, right? For example, it can be any account. So it's going to tell you how long it's going to take for your money to be doubled. For example, a lot of people, where they put their money? In the bank, right? And how much interest rate they earn in the bank? It's about like 1%. Now divide 72 by 1. It's way less than 1%, but let's be generous and say the bank gives you 1%, right? So what is 72 divided by 1? It is 72. So your money doubles every 72 years. Now let me ask you guys this question, right? In your life cycle, right? How many cycle of 72 years will you live? It's only one, guys. You only live one 72-year cycle. So if you start early enough, then you might see your money getting doubled. But if you start saving at 1%, even like 30s and 40s, like even in 29, you have to wait until you are 101-year-old just to get your money doubled. Just to see from $10,000, for example, you are putting away $10,000. It's gonna take 72 years for that $10,000 to become $20,000. Is that how you like your money to grow? Ask that question to yourself, right? Now, what if I show you a place where you can earn 4%, 6%, or even 10%? Guys, 10% is not a myth. A lot of people are achieving 10% interest rate. But if you want to know further, you can contact me, or you can contact your manager or your senior marketing director, whoever it is. But 10% is not a myth. People are earning 10% on their money. So what if I show you a way where you can earn an average about 10%, right? 8 to 10% on an annual basis, right? Think of that. You with the help of interest rate, how much potential you have with the money, right? If you find a place where you can put away 10%, that now your money is doubling every 7.2 years. So what does that mean? At the age of 29, if you invest $10,000, right, by the time 72, that money will go to a whopping $640,000. Which one would you rather have? See the example of 4%, 6%, and 10%. If you invested on 4%, your money is doubling every 18 years. That means by the time you are 65, if you start investing at 29, you'll have $40,000. And if with the interest rate of 6%, right, with the same $10,000, by the time you're 65, you'll have $80,000. With the 10%, with that same amount and same age, now by the time you are 65, you will have $320,000, right? Where would you rather put your money? How much money would you want when you are about to retire? Would you rather want 40, 80, or 320? Answer that to yourself, right? Of course, I would want it 10%. So where can you find those different places? Where can you find 10%, like average of 8 to 10% on an annual basis, right? If you find that kind of account, right now your money is doubling frequently. That means your money is now working for you. So you don't have to work as long for money by just keeping money in the bank, right? Now let me show you where exactly you can save money, where you can earn higher interest rate, right? So options for your money. Now you know to earn more money, to become wealthy, you need to invest your money. Putting in the money in the bank, you're actually losing money if you consider inflation and all that stuff, right? So, but you got to start investing your money, right? Now, what are the options? You don't know anything about investment. I didn't know anything about investment before I come in this business, right? But this business is teaching me how to invest the right way, right? So what are the options for your money to grow, right? Wherever you put your money, your money can grow. Your money can grow in 3 different ways. Doesn't matter where you put, maybe in the bank or 401k, IRA, stocks, bonds, mutual fund. Doesn't matter what kind of vehicle you use, but the way your money grows can be categorized into 3 different ways. One is the fixed way, right? That's the fixed way is like you are signing a contract with the company or with the vehicle you are using, right? Like it's a contract. Hey, I'm gonna give you, if you give me this much money, I'm gonna give you 1% interest rate, right? Doesn't matter whatever the market does. It can go up, it can go down. It's a contract, right? Nobody can break that contract once you sign it until they hit the deadline. So it's a contract, like a bank, checking account, saving account. Hey, I'm gonna give you this much, like a CD, right? I'm gonna give you this much interest. Doesn't matter how much it fluctuates up and down, but yeah, that gives you a peace of mind that you're not going to lose money. But it's very minimum interest rate, 1%, really, guys, right? Just consider inflation. And inflation is 3%. So actually, you are 2%. You are losing money in putting money in the bank, and that 1%, you have to pay taxes on that money too when you want that interest, right? Consider that as well. So that's the one way of growing money, right? We're using a fixed strategy. Next way of growing money is using the variable strategy. So what is a variable strategy? So variable strategy is like a roller coaster ride. Whenever something goes up, it's gonna come down, right? We all know that. So that's a roller coaster ride. Right now, the market was so up in 2019. If you look at that, right? The price of the stocks was so high, and then boom, to 2020, everything went down. So market's gonna balance itself, right? But what if your money is all your money is tied up into this? If you don't know if your money is tied up into what kind of accounts, right? Consult a financial professional, or you can contact me. I can look it up and tell you where exactly your money is. If it's all in fixed, or if it's all in variable, right? Or if it is on index, right? So basically, all the accounts like 401k, IRA, and all that stuff, it's all variable market, right? It's all variable market. So let me ask you a question: when does it sound good that gambling for a retirement? You're basically putting in the variable market is gambling, because you don't know where exactly your money is going to be, right? It's going to be up on the highest point, or it's going to be the lowest point, or it's going to be at your principal, how much you invest. You don't know. You don't know how much money you would have retiring. You cannot be sure, right? Think about it. In 2019, end of 2019, a lot of people who were about to retire, they think that they have a lot of money in there, but now see what happened. They're going to lose a lot of money unless they moved it beforehand and put it in the bank again with less than 1%. Think about that, guys. So this is what a variable market, and it's of course, I'm not saying variable is completely wrong, right? If you have enough time to grow, it's a very good investment, but don't put all your money in there, right? Use different strategies to grow your money as well, right? Because there is a higher risk, higher return. Lower risk, lower return. Like fixed, it's a lower risk and it's a very low return. Variable, it's a very high risk and it also gives you a higher return. But what if I tell you there is a different product, there is a different strategy, sorry, not product, it's a strategy. There's another type of strategy, which is, we call it a hybrid version of fixed and the variable, which is a hybrid version of a fixed and a variable. How does that work? It works, it's a mixture of fixed and variable, right? Like it gives you a peace of mind, like fixed, that you are not going to lose any penny that you invested, plus any interest that it earns, right? So that gives you a peace of mind that you are not going to lose any money, but it also gives you an upside potential like the variable market. Who would not want that? Right? Now you might be thinking, what's the catch? Right? Of course there is a catch. The catch is you get credited for the for the interest rate that the variable market is performing, but up to a certain limit. So there's always limitations of how much it can go, right? Depending upon the company you use, it can be 15, 20, even 25%. At some point they are even uncapped, right? But this is another strategy. A lot of people might not have right here those who are here today. You might not have heard this strategy before, but hey, doesn't mean you haven't heard. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist, right? It's all due to the lack of financial literacy, right? Wealthy people, they know this. They have financial advisors who know how to grow their money. They know how to invest their money. So they've been taking advantage of these products since a long time. But a lot of people like us who doesn't even know how this exists are doomed to pay a lot of money, right? Doomed to waste a lot of money into putting money in the fixed and the variable market, right? So in our company, what we do is we can let you grow your money in all these three different ways. You can grow it in a fixed, you can grow it in a variable way, and also using an index strategy. So which one would you rather choose? If you were to choose, how would you like to grow your money, right? You answer that question for yourself. So that's one way of growing your money. But now let me talk to you about safety, right? So that's the growth, right? You know why it's important and where can you find higher rate of return. But how safe is it, right? The money you are putting away, how safe it is, right? Understanding loss. If you know who Warren Buffett is, right? You never forget these 2 rules of investing from him, right? So his 2 rules of investing is rule number 1 is never lose money. And rule number 2 is never forget rule number 1. Let me repeat that one more time. Rule number 1 is never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1. Right? Why he says that? Let me give you an example. As you see in the picture, right? If you invest $100 into a stock market or let's say 401k market. If you put $100 in a 401k market and the market drops 50%, 50% it drops, right? So how much your $100 would be? $50, obvious, right? And the next year, boom, the market went up 50% again. First year it went down 50%. Next year the market went up 50%. That means 50, negative 50, positive 50. You think like, oh, I got 0%. That means I'm back to where I was, $100. But that's actually not the case. A lot of people get confused right here, and they don't understand the principle of loss, right? They don't understand the impact of loss that they're gonna have in their money. Think of this, right? For a 50% loss in the market has to go up 100% just to get back to where you were before, just to get back to the $100. 100% increase for a 50% loss. So you know your money has to work harder. It's gonna take a longer time when you hit a loss in your market, right? Think of it. A lot of people lose 40% in the market. How much interest rate would you need to cope up with that 40% loss? You would need a 67% increase in the market just to cope up, just to get back to the principal. Forget about gaining anything, just to get back to where you were. So the reason why Warren Buffett says those principles is because it hurts more than you think. Think about that, right? It hurts more than you think. So now next, you got tax advantages, right? This is my favorite topic too, because I do taxes as well, and this has always been my favorite topic to talk to. And now you know you have to get higher rate of return. Now you are investing your money, right? And your money is growing like an average of 8 to 10%. Now, whenever you try to use that money, Uncle Sam eyes is always on your money, right? But if you know how to use those, if you know how to use the different products and services out there and leverage the product and services, then hey, you can avoid paying Uncle Sam a fair share, right? That makes me to you what. So it doesn't matter where you are investing, doesn't matter what kind of product you use. Your money is going to be taxed in 3 different ways in all terms, right? So one is the tax now. That means every single year you are being taxed, like your paycheck. Every time you want a paycheck, boom, taxes is gonna be taken out before even you see your paycheck. Before even you hit your bank account, taxes are already taken out, right? That's tax now. And also saving accounts. Like if you put your money in the saving accounts and it gives you maybe 1%, if that 1% earn any interest, that means you're gonna have to pay taxes on that money. Think of that, guys. The $10,000 that you put in the bank, that's already taxed. And if that taxed money on interest, then you gotta be taxed again. That's double taxation. Think about that. You are paying taxes twice, every single year, right? Saving accounts, certificate of deposits. That's going to be taxes every single year. You get a 1099 from the institution where you put your money, and you're gonna go to your tax preparer. You can come to me, and I'm gonna have to put it on your tax return, and you're gonna have to pay taxes on that money, right? Double taxation. Don't forget that, right? The money you put it away, it's already been taxed, and when that taxed money on interest, you're paying taxes again. Double taxation, guys. And tax later. What is tax later? That's another way of how your money is going to be taxed. Now, it's a little complicated when it comes to tax later, right? So what it is you say the company or the institution, right? Your job, like 401k is through your job, right? Or an IRA or a saving bond or a fixed annuity is, hey, don't tax me now. I'm not ready. I need money right now. I don't want to pay taxes now. Tax me in the future, right? Doesn't matter. Tax me in the future later on when I'm about to retire. Right, tax me again, and the government says, okay, no problem, we'll tax you later on. And then you didn't pay taxes while investing your money. What you did is just you defer paying taxes, right? You just postponed paying taxes on your money. And what is postponing means? Procrastinating. Like a lot of times it is procrastinating. And let me ask you guys a question. When has procrastination becoming good or became good in your favor? Like think about submitting homework in the school, those who go to school. If you procrastinate, if you move everything to do towards your deadlines, right? So if the deadline is like today at 12 o'clock and you haven't done nothing until then, right? And then right now you have only 2 hours to finish your homework. How fast are you going to do it? How would that make an impact on the result? I probably think it's not going to be good, right? It's the same thing with the taxes too, guys. You're not paying taxes now. We are postponing paying taxes. Hey, I don't want to pay it now. I don't want to pay it now. I don't want to do my homework now. I don't want to do my homework now. I just don't want to pay my taxes now. And later on, when the deadline comes, when you start taking the money out, and then, well, half of the money goes, right? half of the homework is wrong, right? So what happens in the tax later too? You're just postponing taxes. And let me tell you another thing as well. So you are putting away some money, maybe $200 that is not being taxed now, right? And then go back to the retirement age, start taking the money out, that $200 that has not been taxed before, you're gonna be taxing that $200 that you put away, and anything that $200 earns, you are paying taxes on that money too. It's again double taxation. That's again the money you put away is never being taxed, but when you take it out, that's $200 principal that you invested, that's going to be taxed, and also any interest that earns, that $200 earns, that's going to be taxed as well. 2 times taxes, right? And that's what a lot of people are doing, right? And a lot of people say, oh, it's good, right? I get a lot of benefits by putting away the money, right? I am saving for my retirement. If you really understand how 401k and IRA were designed, right? Actually, to be honest with you guys, if you think like this is gonna hurt you, I mean to hurt you, because so that you can literally understand how the implications of 401k and IRA works. The way the 401k and IRAs are designed, it is that you are not funding your retirement, you are funding Uncle Sam's retirement. Sit down, go to a financial professional and understand how 401k actually works. Those who doesn't understand 401k, right? If you can contact me as well. So that's how 401k and IRA is. That's tax later. You're deferring everything, paying taxes. Now, the third thing is tax advantage, right? What is tax? It's just a fancy name of tax me never. Tax now, tax later, tax free, right? So what is that? So this is the only account where you are going to be taxed once. Only account that you are going to be taxed once up front. So when you put away money, you pay taxes now. The $200 that you were about to invest every single month for your retirement, pay taxes up front, right? Pay taxes up front, and the $200 doesn't matter how much they grow, right? You don't have to worry about paying taxes at all. A single in taxes. If that $200 grows to $200,000, even $2 million, then all of your money is yours. You don't have to pay to anyone. You don't have to give it to Uncle Sam. You don't have to do anything, and it's all your money. Guys, let me ask you this question, right? In the future, what do you think the taxes is going to be? It's going to go up or down or stay the same? 10 out of 10 people says the taxes is going to go up. Then why in the world are you deferring taxes just to pay a higher taxes? Think about that, right? So so see, when you start saving, you should always consider the impact of taxes when you have any money. With the way you are putting away your money, maybe in your bank account you are still earning interest, you still have to pay taxes on that money. Even if you earn $10, you got to pay taxes on that money, right? You put money in the stocks, bonds, mutual funds, 401k, IRA, everything you put in, you have to pay taxes on it. And they're very minimum. There are a couple of only places where it's tax free. You don't have to worry about paying taxes in the future, like Roth IRAs, Roth 401k, right? And in a life insurance, cash accumulated in a life insurance contract. So it's also tax free as well. You don't have to worry about paying taxes on that money as well. So consider when you are choosing money, right? When you are choosing the way you want to pay taxes, it's up to you, right? Well, now you know. See, that's what we are here for. We want to provide education for you. This is a literacy for you, right? You understand how taxes works. You know what different types of accounts is going to be taxed in the future. Now you can take better decisions for yourself, right? Now you can decide what is good for you and for your family. If you are so patriotic, you want to pay a lot of taxes, hey, go with that. There's no problem with that. But you know how to make a decision now. You know how to implement that financial literacy in your own family, right? That's what we are here for. We're not here in the business of selling people a lot of different products. We are here to educate people, to give them the financial literacy, to give them the financial education so they can listen, understand, implement, and help as well other people, right? So that's the implement of taxes. Now, how we actually do that, right? How we conduct this is we do a financial needs analysis, right? How we find out people, their goals, their dream, where they are heading, how we put them a program, how they put them a plan, and depending upon those 3 strategies I talk about, Rule of 72, a tax now, tax later, fixed index, variable, right? With that strategy, we teach them, and what we do is that we do a financial needs analysis, right? So what is a financial needs analysis? Let me use an analogy for that. When you become sick, you go to a doctor, right? When you go to a doctor, what does the doctor do? And this is very funny that a lot of people want to ask that question to them. What they say, oh, doctor give us a lot of bills, right? So that's funny part. But before they give you a bill, what they do is they're gonna examine you, right? They're gonna examine you. They're gonna ask you a lot of questions. Say, hey, how long are you having that symptom? Where does it hurt you, right? All those kind of things. You know it, right? And what do they examine you after that, right? They take your blood sample, they take your urine sample if needed, height, weight, blood pressure, all that thing, right? And then they come up with a solution and a conclusion, and they prescribe you some medication. Guys, we are no different in financial services. We are no different. What we do, we sit down with families, we give them financial literacy, then we collect some data from there to help them, right? Like how much money are they making? How much are they putting away for in 401k, in IRA? How much discretionary income they have? Like look at this, the sixth step. What would we look into, right? Cash flow, how much money they're making, how much money going out, how much they have left at the end for their future, you know, and we will, if there is a really need to make more money, for example, those who are in their 50s or in their late 50s, then they are only 15 years away from retirement, and they only have $100 to put away. They can never retire with $100 within that 15-year time frame, right? So what we encourage them is to make additional income, and we also have a way how they can make additional income as well, right? How many people do you know right now wants to make more money? Everybody, right? So we show them the options where they can make money and also manage expenses. Right? We partner with so many different companies, and they can help you reduce your expenses. Like for example, like car insurance or homeowners insurance, right? I'm cut off the subscription. But just use one or two you need. That's how we help people. We see their cash flow, how much money they're making. Next is an emergency fund, right? A lot of emergencies do come in life, right? Everybody, like right now, we are in world is in emergency, right? Due to coronavirus, a lot of jobs are gone, companies are closed down, and people are really in an emergency right now, right? If you can help them to set aside like 3 to 6 months of their income just for an emergency like this, how well will they be? They will not have to wait for that stimulus $1,200 check. Right? So that's all about education, guys. You got to understand, pay yourself first is the number one thing that you got to be doing moving forward. Pay yourself first, right? Pay yourself first is the number one thing you got to be doing yourself first, right? And prepare for an unexpected emergency. What are the unexpected emergencies that people do face? Loss of job, right? And your car broke down, and your home appliances broke down. You got sick and you're not able to go to work. Because a lot of people, they only have one source of income, job, right? So if you're not able to go to work, that means no more paycheck. So if you have an emergency fund, how wonderful would that be? So you can take money out. If you don't have emergency fund, then what do? Use credit card to pay your rent, to pay for everything, right? And then you go into more debt. And the next thing is debt management, right? Next thing, we want to make sure that people are debt free. Who doesn't want to be debt free? Everybody, I guess, at least me, right? I want to be debt free. And we all want to be debt free too, I guess. A lot of you guys are in the call, right? Everybody wants to be debt free, but if you don't know how to consolidate your debt, how to start implementing the program and start paying off your debt, you are never gonna go out of debt, right? See, let me tell you this: if you don't control your debt is going to control your life. So make sure you control your debt by yourself. Don't let debt control your life, right? So we want to make sure people do get out of the debt as soon as possible. And proper protection again, right? We want to make sure the income is properly protected. Income. The life insurance is all about protecting that income that's coming into the house. It's the income. It's all about the money, right? Having a life insurance is the income. You're protecting that income that's coming into the house, because the primary breadwinner brings that money. If that gone, if he or she is gone, then it's still that income. Having life insurance can still bring that income to the house. So your rent will be paid off. Your kids have roof over them. They can go to a good college. Your mom can provide more time to their kids. Don't you want that, right? And protect the family assets, right? You want to make sure your house is protected, because if you die without life insurance and your wife or your spouse, you won't be able to pay off the mortgage, then hey, where are they gonna stay? Right? Think about that. So protect your family assets, right? And build wealth. I talked about Rule of 72, getting higher interest rate. So we want to teach them, and we want to implement a plan We want to give them options of the way they can increase their wealth for the future, for their retirement, right? So how to do that is by reducing reducing taxes and outpacing inflation. Inflation is 3%. We want to show you a plan where you want to average 8 to 10%. That is outpace inflation by 7 to 8%, guys, right? And we want to teach them the professional money management so they can manage their own money. If they have financial literacy, you can manage your own money, right? And preserve wealth. Of course, all the hard work we do, we want to make sure it will go to the next generation, right? See, if you don't come from a rich family, make sure a rich family comes from you. If you do not come from a rich family, make sure a rich family comes from you, right? And that's how you want to build a legacy for your family, right? You want your generations to come to remember you for the rest of for the generations to come, right? So make sure you leave a legacy for them, right? Of course, you got to live your life, but if you have some, right, make sure it doesn't. After you die, you think you're gonna have some assets left over, make sure you make a plan for that. Create a will and a trust, right, so that it end up into the right place, right, to your next generation, rather than it's going to the Uncle Sam or someone else, right, where your kids don't even get anything. So preserve wealth. Preserving wealth is also another very important aspect. So we look at all these six things when it comes to financial needs analysis, and we want to make sure people are good at all the 6 things, right? And that's how we have families, right? This is the first part. This is the end of our first part of our presentation, right? I'm gonna go on to the next part, second part of the presentation, right? So when it comes to the first part, like, remember the 3 questions I asked? Do you know someone who could take advantage of listening to this? All the concept and the strategies, rule of 72, fixed index variable, tax me, tax later, tax now, tax later, tax me, and tax free, right? Who do you think have to listen to this conversation? Who do you think have to understand this so they can increase their financial education, right? Who do you know? Write this list of the persons down, and give it to, or introduce it, bring it to the presentations like this so they can better understand it, right? And can this information be helpful for you as well, right? The indexing. Don't you like to grow your money using the index strategy, where you have the peace of mind that you're not going to lose money? Also, do you have an upside potential where it can beat the rest of the market, right? So that's one way. That's the service part, right? Now let me move on to the opportunity, the business presentation, the business opportunity side, right? And when it comes to the business, it all makes sense when timing is right. Let me tell you that. It all makes sense when the timing is right. Providing education to them, helping them. Of course, it's a time to do that. Let me explain it to you why. Between 1946 and 1964, that's the 18 years window, 78 million people, babies, were born during that time. If you look at that, right? So that's a baby boomer generation we call, right? What happened? As soon as the Second World War ended, all those people who were in the war came back home. You know, they were so happy that they returned alive. They were so happy they started celebrating and they started having babies. And within that 18 years of window, 78 million babies were born. Think about that. In that situation, right? In that situation, you had a company called Gerber. You know Gerber, what they produce, right? Baby foods. If you have a company named Gerber, right, and you have 78 million babies buying baby food, how much money would you make? I can't imagine how much money I would make, right? Later on, those baby boomers, after a few years, they want to play with toys. How much money would you make when you have 78 million people trying to play with your toys? You produce your toys, right? That you're gonna make a fortune out of that, right? So, and now look at this. Now the good thing is, right? So now, I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing, but when you have 78 million kids in the country, and an average household have 3 or 4 different kids, right? One income is not enough to feed those babies. Now, what happened is at that time, both husband and wife started going to the work because one source of income was not enough to feed all those kids. You know, there are 5, 6, 7, 8 mouths to feed from one income. It's not enough. So both of them started going to work, and kids were left at home, you know, and who was providing food for them at that time? McDonald's, Burger King, right? Think of any fast food, boom, it skyrocketed. They make fortune after that, right? So I'm talking about the timing, right? What timing is so good? Because if you look at that, right? So Who would know that Gerber would be, see what if Gerber did is, right, before the problem comes, they find the problem and came in right in front of them, so the problem never existed, right? So that's what timing is everything, right? So the fast food industry, and then once the kids get older, they want 16, 17-year-old, they want to drive a car, right? And now let me ask you guys a question. What if you have a car dealership, like wherever you guys are in your house, in your state, you have a car dealership and you are selling cars, and 78 million people, teenagers, now coming to buy the car? How much money would you make? You do good, right? Now, let me ask you another question on top of that. What if you have your dealership, you have one dealership in each state, in 50 different states, and there were people selling cars for you? How much money would you make? Cool. That's another fortune, right? You'll be a billionaire. That's exactly, understand this thing, guys. Those 16, 17-year-old, now they start having, now they got the car, right? And now they graduated from high school and they started working. Now they are about 30 years old. What do the 30-year-old want to do? They want to start their own family. They want to have kids. You know, what do they need? They need houses, right? They don't want to stay still, live with their parents. No, they want to buy houses. And at that time, boom, real estate market, boom. If you're an agent at that time and you have 78 million people buying houses from you, how much money did you make? Ton of money, right? What if you are a broker and you have 100 licensed agent, 100 real estate agent under your hierarchy, under your organization, under your agency, under your broker firm? How much money did you make? Even more, right? Now, you know, I think you already see where I'm heading, but fast forward until now, right? All those baby boomers are retiring right now. They are retiring. So when they are retiring, what's happening? The money is on the move, right? So at this time when money is on the move, but let me tell you guys another thing too, right? 70% of our country's wealth belongs to baby boomers. 70% of the country's wealth. Remember in that video you saw, financial services industry is the biggest industry in the world. $109 trillion industry, guys. $109 trillion industry. Out of that, 70% belongs to baby boomers. You do the math. How much money it is, right? And see, now, right now, they are about to retire. And how much money would you make if you were to solve their problem? Because they are looking for financial advisor, because they can still let their money on the market, right? Now they're retiring because that's the only source of income they have now. So they want to protect their money. They want to save their money, right? So they want to save their retirement. They want to protect their retirement, and they're about to move the money. What if you would be in front of those people and helping them to move their money, right, from one place to another place where they can have peace of mind and they don't have to worry about outliving their money in the retirement days, right? How much money would you have? How much money would you make at that time? Helping those 78 million people to move 70% of the country's wealth. You do the math again, right? Now, let me elaborate that. Let me elaborate your vision, right? How big of this opportunity that you guys have right now. Let me elaborate that for you. What if you have offices all across the country and there are people helping those retiring people to set aside money, to move their money? How much money would you make? There's no limit of how much money you can make. That is why in our business, a lot of people are making $1 million. That's exactly the reason why. And now think of this, right? Those 78 million people, now they started having babies, right? When they started their own families. And from those 78 million people, there were 112 million babies were born. And that 112 million Generation X and the millennials, that's me. I'm a millennial, right? So I'm a millennial. So we consist of 41% of the US population. And now look at this. Those 78 million people that were born, they were retiring. Now they want to make sure that when they pass away, they want to transfer the wealth to the next generation. So where is that money coming to? That 112 million people, Generation X and the millennials. That's where the money is on the move. People are moving money. Money is on the move. And what if you are the one helping people to move their money? 70% of the country's wealth, right? 70% of 109 trillion, $103 trillion. Just think about that, right? The money is on the move. And you are the person who is helping them, just as a middleman, right? You are just a middleman. Our company is just a middleman. We just show them the ways how to do it, right? We don't generate it. We don't make any products here. We don't make anything thing over here, right? We are only the middleman, helping people to move their money, like what a financial advisor do, right? So see, let me ask you these guys a question, right? If you would like to change, if you would like a chance to be wealthy in your lifetime, wouldn't it make sense to be in the right place at the right time? Guys, there is no time, no right time than today, not like right now, right? Take advantage of this time. Start having more families, start having more people, because the money is on the move. The more you help people, more money you're gonna make, right? Our company pays, do not pay equally, right? Our company pays fairly. Those who work, those who do the good work, that's how they get paid good. Those who don't work, they don't get paid, right? So understand that, right? So now let me explain to you the state of our industry. We know we are in the financial industry, right? So what is happening in the financial industry? Nearly half of all the existing financial advisors, they are over 55 years of age. What does that mean? That 1 in 3 are about to retire. So there's an estimated done that by the year 2022, by next 2 years, there will be a shortage of 200,000 financial advisors in our country. 200,000 financial advisors. What does that mean? How much, if you can replace them, getting all the licenses, getting all the credentials, opening an office, and replacing those financial advisors, financial advisors make money, right? They make a lot of money. And what if you replace them, you are in that place? How much money do you make? How much money do you make by doing that, right? That's the state of our industry. So our economy, our country, baby boomers, they need financial advisors. You are in the right place. You have the right platform, right? Take advantage of this, guys. Now, our business offers a very unique platform, right? It's not like you have to work in our industry, you have to quit your job, and all that stuff. Hey, our company let you test drive our business, right? Hey, see if it's really work for you or not. See if you can really do this or not, right? So you can test drive it. Like before we buy a car, we test drive it. We take on a ride and see if it's feel comfortable. Do you like it or not? That's exactly what you can do in here as well. You still have your car, you still have your job, right? And jump in here part-time and see how you can achieve it. And a lot of people, they just want to come here to learn financial education, have a lot more about. I'll just give you an overview of what we do, right? We go more in details if you come on platform to learn about financial education, right? And see, our business is like, you don't have to have financial experience before, right? You don't have to have a finance degree or whatever it is, right? We teach you everything here, guys. We teach you from A to Z of financial education, also about the business. But we teach you everything in here. So there is no risk involved, right? And there is nothing you gotta lose. At least you're gonna get out of here with the good financial knowledge, financial education, where you have to pay thousands and thousands of dollars just to get from anywhere else. So take advantage of that, right? And no time clock. You can schedule your own time. No one is putting any pressure on you, like your employer do on you, right? Because they want you to be in the office at the same time, get out at the same time, take break in the same time. They will detect you when you want to go on a vacation. That you are the boss if you are a business owner. You can decide how much money you want to make. You can decide when exactly you want to go on vacation. You can decide when exactly you want to stop working and start working, right? So you can decide. You have all the rights because you are a business owner and you have unlimited income potential. You don't, like I said, right? Think about those car dealerships. Think about the real estate, and how much money would you make having all those offices across the country, and you have people working for you, right? There's no limit. That's why companies like Walmart, even Amazon, they don't know how much money they make, right? It's unlimited income potential, unlimited income. If you have only one source of income, your income is very limited. But in our company, there are multiple ways. I'm going to explain to that in just a minute. There are multiple ways to make money in our firm, right? So, in leadership and business mentoring business model, right? So there are some people who is trying to help you grow your business, right? When it comes to the business, you want to make sure you have a mentor, you have a coach who you can follow, who you can listen to, and run your business accordingly. And our business is really good at that, right? And strength on our side. I talk about the Aegon and the Transamerica. We have our company is formed in a good platform, right, and a solid foundation with the background of Aegon and Transamerica, and we have the power of choice, right? We don't believe in one size fits all, right? It depends what the client is looking for. And business expansion, you don't have to really just build your business in one place. Remember opening an office in 50 different states where you have people helping other people for you, right? And WFG business system, our system, we already have a system. We don't want you to come in and invent your own will. We already have the will invented. You just have to follow it. We just have to follow the same system, and equal opportunity for everyone. Doesn't matter. Like right now in the call, we have people from so many different backgrounds. We have people from so many different backgrounds and so many different cultures, right? But we all are in the same platform. So that is equal opportunity for all, guys. We don't qualify people according to their class, their gender, the color of the skin. That's not what we do here. What we do here is we want to give everyone an opportunity where they can change their life forever. Right, and our diverse field sports, there are a lot of people going out on the field, right, helping as many people as possible, and growing the underserved market. We want to help the people where help is most needed, where they are not getting the financial education, where the help is most needed. And we, of course, the financial needs analysis, right? That's free for a lot of people. A lot of financial advisors, they charge to sit down with them and do financial needs analysis. And we do it complimentary for families because we know that people can't afford to all those things. So we want to provide this education, provide these things for free to them. And affiliated companies, we work with 100 different A-rated companies in the country, right? And our company hosts a lot of recognitions and events because if you feel good, we all know that we always live there, right? And there is a lot of technology involved in our business and business tools like your website to track your business, to track your clients. Everything is all available for you, right? So this all because of all these reasons. This unique platform is the need has always been greater, guys. So right now, take advantage of this, right? Those who are already in the business, you are in the good business. Those who are not, make sure you are in this business. Test drive this opportunity to see if it's really for you or not. Now, how much money are you going to make in this business? If you just come on board and get your license, of course, there is a licensing requirement in order to work in the financial industry. You can't just come in and make money, right? Of course, there is a background check. You need to clear your background, no misdemeanor, no felony. And once you get your license and once you start having families, income, it all depends on how your income potential, how much you want to make, how hard you want to work, right? Like I said earlier, our company pays fairly, not equally, right? And we don't pay everyone the equal. We pay fairly. Those who work more, they get more. Those who work less, they get less money, right? So that's a fair distribution. So that's what we do. And if you have a family, if you can see in the screen, that's what you can make, right? If you grow in the business, if you build an organization, you have people, you have a people, who you can train and get your license, and you can make up to $250,000 in our business in a year, right? And if you start out with a part-time, you can at least have $3,000-4,000 on a part-time basis if you think of starting our company part-time. Think of that. What would a $3,000 on a part-time basis do to your family finance? I think it can make a huge impact. $3,000 on a part-time basis. A lot of people don't even make that much on a full-time basis, guys. And our industry is rich. We are the biggest industry, and whenever you're working in the biggest industry, you have the big potential of making more money too. Now, like I said before, right? A lot of people, they only have one source of income. Guys, we have 5 sources of income. Personal income, that means you going out and helping people personally. You going out doing the F&A, teaching them the financial literacy, and then you help them personally. That's your personal income. Next is an agency income. That means you build a team and you hire people, you train them, you get their license, and whenever they write the business out in the field, that means you're gonna get a commission from that too. So that's an agency income, like a real estate, right? Whenever an agent sells a house, the broker receives a commission too. Same thing. Whenever your agent in your hierarchy writes a business, right, and then you're gonna get a commission too. And the one is expensive income. Right, if you open an office in all different states, and you're gonna get income from all that offices as well. That's an expansion income. And the bonus income, right? If you hit a certain level on the company, right, you're gonna get a bonus from the company based upon the production that you do, based upon the families you help, based upon the families you serve, right? You're gonna get a bonus from there, right? And also the recurring income, and that's the beauty of this business, right? You're gonna get a massive recurring income. You want the activity you do once, get your securities license and help more and more families, and then you're gonna get a recurring income from there. That means the money keeps coming. Think of it, 5 ways of making money. A lot of people have only one way of making money: go to job and get a paycheck. If that stops, nothing is there. But we have 5. If my personal income stops, I still have 4 more income, guys. That's the way of retiring early. That's the way of retiring early. That's what Every business owners, they retire very early because they just don't have one source of income. They have multiple sources of income. So make sure you have a business where you just don't depend on one source of income. Think about it. If you have started this business 10 years ago, if you have started WFG 10 years ago, and then the coronavirus happened, then you cannot produce personal income. How many extra ways you can produce generate income? Multiple different ways, right? But a lot of people don't get that part. And that's the beauty of this business, right? Make sure you do something that just generates you more and more income. Next, a recognition and event, right? Our company don't just put you on the work and make you work so hard, right? We celebrate you. You know, we our company takes you to places, you know, take you to Hawaii, Cancun. Last year, I get a privilege, me, Udab, and Raz from North Carolina, we get a privilege to go to Cancun. I have a wonderful time over there. And the thing is, everything is paid by, right? I don't have to pay anything out of my pocket. Everything was paid. We stayed in the resort for a week. We celebrated, we enjoyed, we had fun. We did a lot of different things. Because why our company lets you do that is because when we feel good, we always do good, right? Think about that. When you feel good, when you're in a happy mood, everything you do turns out to be good, right? And that's the reason why our company celebrates. You know, we organize events, we organize meetings, right? And we go to the trips. And if you do achieve something, you know, if you hit the requirement, if you hit the top of the company doing whatever you are doing, right, you get some trophies, you know, because our company knows how to treat people, treat the assets, because we work so hard in the field, we work so hard having families, and we want to be treated right as well. And our company does an excellent job in doing that, right? So you're gonna be treated really good in this business. Like, when was last time you got a good reward or a trophy or a trip from your job? If you do something good, you know, they reward you with more work, right? So our company is not that way, right? We want to make sure that everybody's rewarded, everybody's treated fairly. Next, now let's go back to the question. Now we're almost to the end of the presentation. So consider WFG, right? So look at this. I asked this question before in the first, now I'm coming back to it again. So who do you know someone who could benefit from this message, right? You hear both the aspects. One is the financial education aspect and one is the business opportunity aspect. Think of this, right? Who do you know could benefit from either or the or? Either financial services, we need to listen to those financial education, financial literacy part, or who would like to make extra money and can be a good person to be in our organization. Right? Next, can this information help you, your family, and your friends financially? Right? The things that I explained to you, right? The education that I provided to you, the strategy I told you, the tax advantages vehicle that I told you, can that be helpful for you personally? Right? Do you want to explore it furthermore? Contact me or contact anyone, like whoever invited you here, right? And explain it to them. Okay, hey, Yogesh was talking about this. What is this? I want to learn more about it. Let me see if there is a need for that vehicle in your scenario or not, in your case or not, right? And are you intrigued by the business? So remember the question I asked, can you do what I do and also make money? That's a question I'm gonna ask you guys. Can you do what I do? Of course, you're gonna learn everything about the presentations, about everything, but what I did is just providing education. We are trying to just help people. Do you like to help people? Do you want to help people? Can you do what I do and also make money, right? So take the next step, right? If you're happy with your job, you know, if you are making good money and you don't need any other kind of source of income, you know, I suggest you do have multiple sources of income, but you are not, your hands are tied, you have too much on the plate right now, you know, then do a financial needs analysis. And it's complimentary, you don't have to pay us anything, right? What we do is we look at all the different, like what a doctor does, we go all through that. And if there is a need for something for your family, right, and we offer you a solution for that. And you are the ultimate decision maker. You take the decision if you want to implement the program into your finance or not. So you will be the ultimate decision maker. So to take advantage of this, it's complimentary, right? I think everybody needs to have one at least. All right, every year you got to make sure you do financial needs analysis for yourself, right? You know where you're standing when it comes to finance. You know your goal, your target is you are meeting the target about retirement. You know you're meeting the target about your kids going to college. Make sure you do on a regular checkup, right? You just don't go to the doctor once and then don't go for the rest of your life. So that's a financial need analysis. You do once and you do it every single year to make sure you are in the right pace, right? And the next thing is the business, right? And you are not happy with your job and you like to change career, or you like to have a plan B or a backup career in that, then consider becoming a part-time with us, right? You don't have to jump in full-time. Keep the security of your job. Come here and start doing something on a part-time basis, to see if it's really for you or not. So you can start business part-time. And you can also, if you are not doing anything right now, if you got just laid off, then come full-time. You start building the business from the beginning and build as big as your commitment and as big as your vision. So consider the options, get back to the person who invited you here today, and see what options best fit you, or the person who, if you can refer some people, and that would be really great, because we're in the business of having more and more families. So we would like to get as much people as possible. So please get back to the people who invited you here today, so you can have a better, you can learn more and also help more people, and also start what you're trying to do. All right. With that being said, thank you everyone for listening to me. And let me stop the recording first.